to the Prince George's County Cable Television Commission meeting. This is our May meeting, and we're delighted to see everyone who's here.
Doris McMillan.
And
Samson Afaladi.
thank you, and I'm Tom McLeod, the Commission Chair, and we're going to move right into the meeting agenda. And the first order of business is the approval of the minutes from our April 25th meeting. I'll entertain a motion to accept.
I move that we accept the meetings for April 25th, 2018.
Okay, thank you very much. Moved in second, and we move right into our action items, please.
There are no action items at this time.
Thank you. No action items. Our next order of business are the monthly reports.
Okay. The monthly report for the month of April 2018. For Verizon, we have 9 open calls and 9 closed calls. For Verizon, for Comcast, we do have 7 open calls and 7 closed calls. At this point, there are no outstanding calls for both Verizon and Comcast, and that concludes my report.
Thank you. Questions, comments from the commissioners? Hearing none. Next report is the Cable Community Television.
That report was submitted and
accepted. Any
Right.
questions, comments on the cable television report? Hearing none, we are now open for public comment.
I have Mr. Wilson.
Yes.
Mr. Wilson, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
The floor is yours.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I wasn't expecting it to be set up like this, but this is perfectly fine. I originally, for my business, got with Verizon, I'm thinking around October of 2015. And the solicitation came from a third party group. It wasn't directly at Verizon. And there were some things represented that didn't turn out to be as it was represented. And I did talk to people at Verizon at the time, and we did get that straightened out. Part of that representation was I knew that I was moving in 2 or 3 months, and they said they wouldn't charge me for the move or the relocation. So I moved February of 2016 to my current location, and what was supposed to be a transfer didn't happen, even though my office is only 8 minutes. I used to be right down here on Apollo Drive, and I moved about 8 minutes away, but they didn't let me keep any of my same phone numbers. I had to go from a 240 area code to a 301. Well, subsequently I found out that they restarted my services when I moved. They didn't transfer my services. So what that did was created a whole new line of problems for me, that the pricing wasn't what I agreed with when I left Comcast at the time. I had internet, television, and phone service in my office, but the television is not for the public, it was just in my office. We eventually got that straight. We calling Verizon, talked to the executive office. They reduced my bill, I guess, discounts, but the only thing I know is they corrected the bill to what I was originally promised or somewhere close. Then somehow my bill throughout the year would just change, and I'd have to go through this process over and over again. Well, they would keep making adjustments, but my bill would never go back quite as low as it was originally. Then, I guess I hit the 2-year mark, January 30th of this year, and I noticed that after that, my bill went up substantially. I was originally told about $203 a month. This is where I started back in October of 2015. We eventually got up to about $212 a month. It would go up, they would adjust it back. It would go up, they would adjust it back. Evidently, after 2 years, they automatically put me into a new contract. I don't know if it's 2 or 3 years. No conversation with me, no discussion of rates. So my bill goes from $212 to near $500. I have the bill with me. So I think my last bill was $481. My service was cut off, and I sent Gina an email. I didn't know why I was cut off. I was paying my bill every month. It had gotten up to $240, and I was paying $240 a month. But they separated my cable and internet from my phone service, so they were charging me $240 just for the phone service, unbeknown to me. And they were charging me separately for the other two. Well, they supposedly had corrected that. Then that same thing happened again. So when I called, I talked to Jeremy Pavlik, and he really got to a point, well, it just is what it is. I said, you're charging me this. Well, he told me, even though they made the mistake, I still got to pay for the internet. I said, but my bill was supposed to be around $212. What I was paying was $240. That still wasn't enough, and he told me it wasn't. So I had him email me or break down the bill, and I told him I wasn't paying that. So once he started being unresponsive, I realized, or I felt like he wanted me to move, or wanted me to leave. So I called Comcast about 3 weeks ago, or a month ago, and that's what I did. I left. But I explained, they have a retention department that I talked to the young lady. I explained everything that was going on. She understood me moving. Then that's when I found out my contract started back over in January. So now she's telling me I have a $2,400 termination fee. I haven't received that, but
With Verizon.
with Verizon. Yeah, yeah. So that's kind of where we are right now. And I think that if they were going to double or 2.5 times my bill, we should at least have a conversation about it, especially if it's a contract that I'm stuck in, that I wasn't aware that I was stuck in. Since I've been with them longer than the original contract, I thought after that, you're done with contracts. You know, if they're going to keep billing you, they have you as a customer.
Do you recall whether there was an automatic renewal provision in your contract?
I don't recall that. That conversation never happened. If it was, I didn't know about it. And, you know, of course, it's possible. Yeah,
And you've provided Gina with all this information?
I have.
Okay. Questions from commissioners, comments?
You said $2,400. Is that for time you terminated the whole thing?
Yeah, I guess if the contract started over in January, if the contract is 2 years or 3 years, they're charging me for that whole time, I guess. I'm not sure. I haven't received that bill.
Okay.
This is what the person, when I called to terminate my service, that's what they told me. She said, you know, it's going to be at $2,400. And she was almost saying it apologetically. She understood what I was going through, but it's nothing she could have done.
And you've requested a detailed billing accounting, but you haven't received that yet?
No, that I do have.
You haven't, okay.
Yeah, he emailed me that breakdown, and I sent it to Gina here, but I have it, because I printed off the stuff
Okay.
that I sent to her. Here it is.
Okay, I just wanted to know if you had.
Okay,
you hadn't
yes.
received that yet. Okay. So, in that, with that billing, that detailed billing came, was there any general statement about why the $2,400, an overall statement, or just the details?
Okay. No, the email says, as per our conversation day 4/10/18, I will be providing a breakdown of your charges. Okay, now the bill is $732, but he's including a previous balance of $240.53. So the current bill is $491.82. And so he broke that down to say, my current charge is $421.93, taxes are $19.59, Verizon surcharges are $50.30, for a total of $491.82. And I guess the triple play, whatever, they're charging me $299.98, includes $65 for a main line, $100 for 2 additional lines, $20 for a basic line, $39.99 for TV, and $74.99 for internet. That's how they break it down. Now, I have all the same thing with Verizon for $207. I mean, with Comcast for $207 a month.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so, excuse me, you provided all that background information to staff, and staff will be following up with Verizon to see if they can provide some clarification as to what is going on there.
Okay.
Okay, so just give staff a little bit of time
Okay.
to follow up on that, and then we'll be back in touch with you on that and see where we are.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Anything additional she needs,
Yeah.
I'll provide.
And in the interim, I'm not sure there's anything that you can do at this point right now, but we do have a representative from Verizon here, always attends our meetings because they're interested in how customers are being serviced. And
Okay.
she's sitting right behind you, so maybe after
Oh.
the meeting, you might want to have a chat with her as well, just to
Oh,
introduce
okay.
yourself.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay.
I have Verizon at home too. I need her personal
Okay.
number.
All right. So when we conclude, you might want to just introduce yourself.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions, comments from commissioners?
No?
Okay. We're into the public comment. Are you here for public comment?
I am.
Please, introduce yourself and the
Oh,
floor is
right,
yours.
right on
Yeah.
time.
Right on time.
Late, but right on time.
Mhm.
All right. My name is Michelle Jackson. Want me to start right in?
Please do.
Okay. All right. Well, my concern is with Comcast Xfinity. I've been in front of you before a couple of years ago, unfortunately. Our cable and various services have been out 16 times since January. So if you think about it, on average, that's about 4 times a month, or if you want to take it even extrapolate even further, almost once a week. Okay, that's not acceptable. Our phone goes out, and during the day, as well as our internet, it does something to, unfortunately, to the voicemail system. So your voicemail messages oftentimes will be delayed till the next day somehow. And that has actually caused quite a bit of problems. We had a call from a doctor. A couple of things transpired that really made that, more than just a little problematic. So the other thing is we've had tech support come out. They've told us actually that our boxes were defective. They seemed surprised that we even had the boxes that we had. I was surprised they admitted that. And they finally switched out some boxes, but evidently all the times we have been calling in, which by the way, I have racked over 20 hours on the phone with Comcast since that time, that nobody's ever told us that until very recently in May about these defective boxes. So they replaced them. The other thing is now they've said, oh, but the boxes aren't really the problem. There's a problem outside. So this utility has come out. Now they've marked up the yard and all that. But I've tried to get somebody to tell me, what are you going to do? How much damage, because I remember before when they dug up our yard, how much damage is actually going to be done? And they did a piss poor job, excuse my French, forgot we were being recorded, of repairing it the last time. So I still don't know. Nobody's been able to answer that. I have asked for credit, but that credit, I just had to haggle to get that, and it's certainly not commensurate with the number of outages and the inconvenience and the time I've spent on the phone with Comcast. Then, just recently on the new bill in May, they billed us incorrectly. And today I was able to get someone to say that they're going to give us a credit and fix that. We'll see, because I've been promised credits before, and I am just today, the guy said that he would issue a credit. There was actually promised to me, like, prior to the last bill. So we have gotten some credit. So let me say that. We've got about $20 worth of credit that came in April. But all in all, this service is just, it's ridiculous. And they're still saying that they want to dig underground and fix something. They're saying that there's also a bigger problem in our neighborhood. And so I don't know what's going on. I can't seem to get a clear-cut answer. As you know, a lot of customer service for Comcast is overseas. Don't even let me get into the delay and the language barrier and all of that. But I understand that that's the way, because it's inexpensive, a lot of the businesses, utilize their customer service overseas. But it just adds to the frustration.
Sure. Do you happen to know, is it just you that's having this problem, or are there other neighbors that are?
My neighbors, we all seem to have it sporadically. Okay, and then all my neighbors don't have Comcast.
Okay.
So some of them a lot of them actually have Verizon.
Okay.
So I don't know. I do know one of our neighbors that has Comcast. He has problems sporadically as well. And I was actually told by the Comcast representative that it is indeed a problem in our neighborhood. The time before last that I called, I said, "Is this just us?" And he said, "No, it's not."
Okay. Have you been in touch with staff and provided them with the information that you just shared with us?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry.
You'll want to talk with Gina.
Okay. Do you have a card, Gina?
I'll provide you with.
Okay.
And what I'm hearing is that first and foremost, you're looking for some clarification on what's to be done, what needs to be done.
Right. Are they still planning to come out and dig up our yard? I mean, this utility was out, that's been about a week and a half or so ago.
Okay.
I don't know what the status is.
And you're looking for some financial
I
remuneration?
am, well, to the degree that, if they really do what they promised, they would probably be okay for now, provided we don't have even more outages.
Mhm. And you've got no explanation on why there's been so many outages?
None. I've got various explanations.
Oh,
None of them are consistent.
okay.
So some people say it's the defective boxes. Some people say it's the outside line, that's the major line, not just the line to our house. Some people say that it's the connectivity.
Mhm.
I've gotten 3 different answers.
But did you say they've already fixed the box or something like that?
I said they switched out our DVR box.
Oh,
Yeah, they
Oh,
switched out.
inside
Yes,
your house?
yeah.
You didn't say you have some defective boxes outside, did you?
No, it's inside.
Inside, okay. All right.
They did take those just in May. But
Okay.
it took, think about it. Nobody ever told us that until May.
Mhm. Okay, well, thank you for coming and sharing that with you, and again, we'll
Okay.
ask you to talk with Gina, and we'll follow up and see what we can do there to bring
Thank
some
you.
resolution to this. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, I appreciate you listening.
Just go ahead and sign this.
Oh, sure.
Again, and put your number.
Okay, I go ahead. That's
You have
fine.
a pen?
Okay, we'll move to our next agenda item. That's all for public comment, I take
Yeah,
it?
that's all for the public.
Okay, so our next agenda item is the report from Comcast, and there is no representative from Comcast here this evening, but we are delighted to have Verizon represented as usual. Thank you for
Yay.
being here. Is there anything you wish to?
I have no report.
Okay, thank you very much. And commissioners, are there any questions, comments, anything from the commissioners?
today.
Hearing none, okay. Well, next meeting is scheduled for the 27th of June, and hopefully that will comport with everyone's personal calendars. And if there is no other business, we stand adjourned. Thank you.